These waves were considered myths until cameras captured ships being completely swallowed in seconds. If it hadn't been filmed, no one would believe it. Join us and let's witness the most terrifying ocean waves ever recorded. Let's go.
Number 12. Florida cruise ship faces waterspout tornado. Passengers aboard a cruise ship off Florida's coast watched in shock and terror as a violent funnel-shaped tornado approached their vessel in a way that promised disaster. This wasn't some fantasy scenario. A real waterspout confronted a ship in open ocean, rising to heights matching residential buildings with massive rotational speed that made any nearby vessel vulnerable to its destructive force. Waterspouts form when atmospheric conditions align perfectly, creating rotating columns of air that extend from clouds down to the water surface. Unlike land tornadoes, they can appear with less warning. The funnel this cruise ship faced was clearly visible, a dark, twisting column connecting sea and sky. Water spray at the base created a misty shroud, while the main vortex remained distinct against cloudy background. Ships cannot outrun waterspouts easily. These phenomena move across water following wind patterns and atmospheric pressure zones. The cruise ship's captain had to calculate trajectory, speed, and direction while keeping passengers safe. Emergency protocols activated. Crew secured outdoor areas, brought people inside, and monitored the waterspout's path. Some waterspouts dissipate quickly, others maintain strength for extended periods. This one stayed formed long enough to create genuine concern.
Never trust the ocean completely, because it betrays you at any moment, shifting from calm to violent fury without warning. Those sweeping waves flooded the entire area, transforming it into a theater of destruction and devastation. The Grand Holiday cruise ship heading to Barcelona found itself in this difficult situation. When the vessel tilted, absolute chaos erupted, and terrified passengers witnessed those historical moments unfold. The ship's stabilizers, massive fins extending from the hull, worked overtime trying to counteract forces beyond their design specifications. Tables in the dining room slid sideways. Plates and glasses crashed to the floor, creating dangerous fields of broken ceramic and glass. People who moments earlier were enjoying vacation activities now clutched railings and door frames. Some passengers recorded video on their phones, capturing angles and movements that seem impossible for something so large. The ship's crew, trained for emergencies, moved through corridors helping people reach safe areas while dealing with their own fear. Outside, waves continued their assault, each one different from the last, some cresting higher than the ship's lower decks.
I'm going to ask you a simple question. Are you a naturally curious person? If you're watching, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. This space is made for people like us. To ensure you're always part of this community and receive all our latest discoveries, you just need to do one thing: subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to stay connected with us. Okay, now that you're part of our Legion of the Curious, let's move on to the next item.
In Kerala State, India, fishermen sometimes risk their lives and head to sea, even during severe storms. And unfortunately, their adventure doesn't always end well. Nobody can control boats against the power of those raging waves that destroy everything standing in their path. Small fishing vessels made from wood or fiberglass offer zero protection against open ocean conditions during storms. Yet economic pressure drives fishermen out despite warnings. They need the catch to feed families and pay debts. Weather forecasting reaches coastal villages, but traditional fishing communities sometimes rely more on experience and observation than meteorological reports. The boots these fishermen use weren't designed for storm conditions. They lack stabilization systems, reinforced hulls, or advanced navigation equipment. When waves reach 5-6 meters, these vessels become toys. One wave can flip them completely. Another can fill them with water faster than bilge pumps can handle. Rescue operations during storms face terrible odds. Coast Guard vessels struggle to reach fishing boats in time. Helicopters can't operate in high winds. Other fishermen who might help are fighting their own survival battles.
Number 9. Celebrity Edge, Juneau, Alaska. Sudden wind strike. Despite impressive engineering achievements humans accomplish, nature's power and unpredictability remains beyond control. In Alaska, the massive cruise ship Celebrity Edge, carrying nearly 3,000 passengers, sat peacefully docked in Juneau Port before a sudden wind gust flipped the entire scene and disrupted everything. The ship, weighing thousands of tons, started moving sideways at the dock. Mooring lines stretched tight, some snapping with sounds like gunshots. Dock workers scattered as massive ropes whipped through the air. The wind came from nowhere, transforming a routine docking procedure into an emergency situation. Alaska's weather systems create unique challenges. Mountains channel wind into narrow passages where it accelerates to dangerous speeds. Cruise ships with their tall profiles act like sails, catching wind that pushes them in unwanted directions. The Celebrity Edge crew engaged thrusters at full power, fighting to maintain position while port authorities scrambled to secure additional lines. Passengers inside felt the ship moving, but couldn't see what caused it, creating confusion and worry. This incident demonstrated how even modern cruise ships with advanced positioning systems can become vulnerable when weather strikes without warning.
Number 8. Rogue waves 20 meters. Deadly ocean phenomenon. Rogue waves didn't get that name by accident. Occasionally, isolated, massive waves form with unusual steepness, reaching heights of 20 meters. These waves present deadly threats to ships because metal hulls simply cannot withstand this type of sudden, enormous pressure. Scientists studied rogue waves for decades, initially dismissing sailor reports as exaggeration. Then instruments and satellites confirmed their existence. These waves appear seemingly from nowhere, towering above surrounding swells. They don't follow normal wave patterns. Regular ocean waves and storms might reach 8-10 meters. Rogue waves double or triple that height, while maintaining steep faces that slam vessels with concentrated force. The pressure differential when a rogue wave hits can buckle steel plating, snap welded joints, and flood compartments through hatches designed to be watertight. Ships that encounter rogue waves sometimes disappear entirely, sinking so fast they can't send distress signals. Other vessels survive but suffer catastrophic damage. Bridge windows shatter despite being rated for extreme conditions. Electronics fail from shock and water intrusion. Cargo breaks free in shifts, creating stability problems that compound the emergency. Rogue waves represent oceanography's most dangerous puzzle.
Number 7. Commercial fishing vessels, world's deadliest job. Fishermen have no choice except accepting nature's power and unpredictability that cannot be forecasted. Commercial fishing remains one of the world's deadliest occupations. Statistics show death rates far exceeding most other jobs. Fishermen know the risks, but economic realities push them out despite dangers. They've got boat payments, crew salaries, and families depending on income from catches. When fish prices drop or quotas go to toost, pressure increases to work in marginal conditions. Experienced captains read weather patterns and ocean signs that meteorologists miss. They notice bird behavior, water color changes, and atmospheric pressure shifts. This knowledge helps them avoid some dangers, but not all. Weather systems intensify unexpectedly. Equipment failures happen at the worst moments. One crew member's mistake can sink a vessel. Yet fishing continues because society demands seafood and people need work. Modern safety equipment helps: emergency beacons, survival suits, life rafts designed for harsh conditions. But gear only helps if you've got time to use it. Ships that sink in minutes don't allow crew to deploy safety equipment.
Number 6. MS World Discoverer, Solomon Islands Reef 2000. The MS World Discoverer cruise ship hit an uncharted reef in the Solomon Islands during 2000, sinking in waters where no obstacles should have existed according to charts. The ship carried 165 passengers and crew through remote Pacific waters when it struck submerged rocks, tearing open the hull. Water flooded compartments faster than pumps could handle. The captain made the decision to run the sinking ship aground on a nearby reef to prevent it from going down in deep water. This move saved everyone aboard. Passengers and crew evacuated to lifeboats and reached shore safely. But the World Discoverer became a total loss, sitting on that reef for years as a rusting monument to navigation hazards. Uncharted reefs present constant dangers in remote waters. Satellite imaging and sonar mapping improve charts, but vast ocean areas remain incompletely surveyed. Reefs shift during earthquakes. New underwater obstacles appear from landslides or volcanic activity. Ships traveling established routes usually face minimal risk. Vessels exploring remote areas or taking shortcuts accept higher probabilities of hitting something unexpected. The World Discoverer's grounding illustrates how even modern ships with advanced navigation equipment can meet disasters.
Number 5. Winter Storm Nemo 2013, Atlantic Coast Water Wall. Opening your window to find those crashing waves rising and breaking right before your eyes creates terrifying, breath-holding moments. The Atlantic Ocean coast of the United States looked like this in 2013 when Winter Storm Nemo raised a water wall 20 meters high, equivalent to 5 buses stacked on top of each other. Coastal residents watching from their homes saw something beyond normal storm surge. The ocean literally stood up, creating a vertical barrier of churning water that advanced toward shore. Winter Storm Nemo combined multiple weather systems into one powerful event. Arctic air masses collided with warmer ocean temperatures, creating temperature differentials that supercharged wave formation. Wind speeds exceeded 100 kilometers per hour along parts of the coast. But the real danger came from waves. 20-meter waves contain unimaginable energy. When they break, they release force measured in tons per square meter. Buildings along the waterfront faced impacts equivalent to being hit by vehicles. Some structures built to withstand normal storm conditions simply disintegrated. The water wall traveled inland, flooding streets, basements, and first floors of buildings hundreds of meters from the actual shoreline.
Number 4. Andrea Gale, The Perfect Storm, 1991. The Perfect Storm of 1991 combined 3 weather systems into one monster that created waves measured at 30 meters. The Andrea Gale fishing boat disappeared in these conditions, becoming famous through books and movies. But that wasn't the only vessel fighting for survival. Multiple ships got caught when Hurricane Grace merged with a nor'easter and a cold front from Canada. The collision of these systems created a weather bomb, intensifying far beyond any single storm. Wave heights reached levels rarely recorded. The Andrea Gale sent its last transmission before waves and wind overwhelmed the vessel. No survivors were recovered. The boat simply vanished into conditions so violent that wreckage scattered across hundreds of square kilometers. Other ships survived by running with the storm, abandoning their planned routes to ride out the fury. Crews lashed themselves to bunks, knowing sleep meant risking death if something went wrong. The storm lasted days, battering vessels until fuel ran low and equipment failed from constant stress. Coast Guard rescue swimmers went out in conditions they weren't trained for, trying to save people from ships breaking apart. Those maneuvers and sharp turns through massive swells make your heart drop straight through your chest. The container ship tilted 15 degrees, creating genuine danger for hull integrity and vital control systems. That angle might not sound dramatic until you're standing on a deck that suddenly feels like a steep hill. Cargo containers stacked 6 high started shifting, despite restraints designed to hold them through anything. 15 degrees means everything not secured becomes a projectile. Coffee mugs, laptops, toolboxes, even heavy machinery can slide and tumble. The North Atlantic Ocean showed its true meaning of bad weather and harsh conditions. Lightning bolts struck with incredible force, cutting through total darkness like nature's own artillery. Experienced sailors know exactly when the ocean enters a state of extreme rage. During those days, every wave slams the ship like a powerful punch. Every spray of foam reminds them the vessel is just a temporary visitor with zero power against overwhelming might. The ship's bridge crew monitored instruments showing wave heights that shouldn't exist according to their training manuals, yet there they were, staring at walls of water approaching their position.
This is how the journey of a cargo ship traveling from Japan to Russia ended. Freezing cold, hurricane winds, and violent waves covered the ship with thick ice layers, transforming vehicles on board into frozen blocks. The ocean, by its harsh standards, imposes its own conditions even on cargo delivery. Spray freezes instantly in Arctic conditions. Each wave that washes over the deck leaves behind ice that accumulates with every passing hour. The cargo ship became encased in ice tons heavy, affecting stability and seaworthiness. Ice adds weight high on the ship, raising the center of gravity and making the vessel prone to capsizing. Vehicles secured on deck disappeared under ice shells.
Cargo securing equipment became locked in ice, making it impossible to check if loads stayed properly fastened. The crew faced brutal conditions trying to break ice off critical areas. They used axes, hammers, steam, and salt, trying to prevent ice buildup from reaching dangerous levels. Working on deck in those conditions meant risking frostbite, slipping on ice, or getting swept overboard by waves. Ships lost to ice accumulation sink quickly when stability reaches the tipping point.
Number 1. North Sea supply vessels, oil rig operations. North Sea operations require supply vessels to transfer cargo in conditions that would shut down most maritime activities. Waves regularly hit 10-15 meters, wind speeds exceed safe working limits, and visibility drops to almost nothing. Yet oil rigs need supplies, and crews need rotation. Supply vessels designed for these conditions feature dynamic positioning systems that use thrusters and computers to hold position despite wind and current. Crews prepare cargo transfers, knowing they've got narrow windows between wave sets. A crane lifts containers from ship to rig platform while both move independently. The ship rises and falls several meters with each wave. The rig platform sways, but less dramatically. Timing becomes everything. Hook the load at the wrong moment and cable goes slack, then snaps tight, potentially breaking equipment or injuring people. Supply vessel captains need years of experience reading North Sea conditions. They identify patterns in wave sequences, finding brief, calmer periods for critical operations. But conditions deteriorate fast. Weather forecasts help, but don't capture sudden changes. Vessels sometimes wait days for safe transfer windows.
Still curious? Then don't stop now. The next mystery is already waiting for you. Just click the video on screen. I saved it just for you. See you there, curious one.